you from Stafford Springs, Connecticut.
Green flag, and we're underway. They bump, they bang, side by side for the race lead to turn one. Ryan Newman goes underneath Andretti. Newman gets away. The 44-year-old from South Bend, Indiana, brings the fans to their feet. The checkered flag waves tonight over Ryan Newman.
Great run, Ryan. Thank you, guys. It means the world to me. To have these two girls right here, nobody knows what that means to me. So I got choked up the last couple laps, and then seeing their smile on their face just kind of took the tears away. But we'll party a little bit tonight.
Drivers, start your engines! Watch me. Here we go. Buckle up. It's season 2 of the Superstar Racing Experience. This place is fast. It can be mean. Final lap. Checkered flag waves over Ryan Newman.
Short track, short uses, tension.
Keston Evans wins
Superstar Saturday night.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh man, this is going to be fun.
Come on.
Who gets the jump? They're still bumping and banging.
You're good, you're good, you're good.
We're not done yet. Are you ready to light this thing up? Watch me.
Last week, it was redemption. Ryan Newman celebrating a long-awaited win in Stafford Springs. This week, 13 drivers racing for bragging rights at this historic track. We say with that, welcome to the Camping World SRX series on CBS, coming to you from Music City's Nashville Fairgrounds, considered by many to be the short track, the best short track in all of America. Tonight, we've got 2 new faces, well-known names, joining our series. 2-time IndyCar champ Joseph Newgarden and NASCAR Cup Series champ Matt Kenseth. It's time to go racing. With the command to start engine, we turn now to the founder of Big Machine Label Group, Scott Borchetta.
Welcome to Music City, the home of country music and the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix on August 7th. You're coming here to us live in Nashville at the Fairgrounds, the best short track racing in America. SRX drivers, start your engine!
Breaker up. Fired up.
Oh, the music of the engines. We are ready to go racing. IndyCar driver Connor Daly is back with us, joining Alan Bestwick up in the booth. Alan, this racetrack presents a special challenge for this field of drivers, doesn't it?
Sure does, Lindsay. Thank you. It is hot. It is steamy today. The feels like temperature now as we get set to go racing is 92 degrees. And we have an example of the wraparound safety seat these drivers will compete in tonight. Connor, when you look at all this around the driver and take in those weather conditions and the fact that this is the fastest track they'll see in the SRX series this season, what's all that mean?
Yes, the joy of seating are the wizards behind these nice little seats. There's not as much as you'd find in your regular car. Sometimes you get those nice little buttons that you can press where you get a little fan behind your back. That's not the case here. Each driver has their own seat insert that are kind of basically made for your body, and every driver is a little bit different. So there's a bit more right side padding for the guys, especially here, because there's a bit more of a high G load here at this track because it's quite high speed. So they're all a slight bit different, but they're all hoping to be as comfortable as possible and as fast as possible.
Look at Bobby Labonte. We have a thermometer in his and Tony Stewart's cars tonight. You'll get to see just how warm the oven is as they race around this Fairgrounds Speedway in Nashville. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's race. 13 drivers in the field, drawn at random order. And the new guy, the hometown guy, Joseph Newgarden, is going to start on the pole.
The absolute hero of Nashville, Joseph Newgarden, longtime friend of mine. Can't wait to see how he does. It's very rare for the folks that follow motorsports to see Joseph racing something other than an IndyCar.
There's the local hero, Cole Williams. More about him in just a minute. While you look at the rest of the 13-car grid, let's talk to Joseph Newgarden as he rolls away from the start-finish line.
Joseph Newgarden, it's Connor Daly up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Oh, CD, I got you.
Well, first of all, Joseph, I appreciate you letting me stay at your house last night. You have a beautiful establishment here. Second of all, I want to let the people know how rare it is to see you driving something other than an IndyCar. How do you feel so far about this? And you're obviously starting first, which is usually where you finish in IndyCar. So what's the strategy tonight? How much time are we going to spend learning, and then how much time are we going to spend winning?
Well, I'm going to try and settle in here. Maybe I've got to follow smoke pretty early to learn how this works, but I'm truly a rookie at this. Just excited to be here and thankful to have the opportunity for my team to come compete. I just want to have some fun and learn tonight, though. Let's see how it goes.
Well, you look great in that twisted T-Wagon. I can tell you that I plan on celebrating no matter what with a few different twisted T's later tonight. So good luck tonight, man, and we'll see you afterwards.
That's good, buddy. Enjoy.
All right, Joseph Newgarden joining the Superstars tonight here in Nashville. Let's bring in our pair of aces, keeping track of the deck down on pit road. We start with Willie T. Ribbs. What you got, Willie?
What I got is they call this place the Nashville Nightmare, especially for the new drivers. And last year when I raced here, it was a nightmare. 18-degree bank. This is the fastest track in the championship. And they're going to be hustling here. And we're going to see who's going to be the Nashville Cat when it's all over.
Well, Willie, one of those guys that we talked about making their debut in SRX tonight is Matt Kenseth. Now 8 starts, 3 different series, and he's never competed here in the past 2 decades. Came in after a family vacation out west, sort of like the Griswolds, went to Mount Rushmore, Grand Canyon, and then, of course, Yellowstone after several weeks. Behind the wheel of this SRX car, so it's kind of a cross between a super late model and a cup car. A lot to learn tonight. But then, again, like you said, Connor, at the end of the day, a race car is just a race car.
Well, we know Matt knows how to wheel a race car.
Yeah, I have plenty of Matt Kenseth die-casts in my collection, so I'm very, very excited to see how he does tonight. Such a great competitor, such a legend out there on the track, so I can't wait to see how he does.
That's the visor cam view from inside Matt Kenseth's machine tonight here in Nashville. So coming to the start-finish line to get the 1-to-go signal. Reminder about our format for Superstar Saturday night. 2 12-minute timed races. Starting order for the first heat drawn at random. They invert the finish from this first heat to start the second. And then the average of your finishes in the 2 heats determines where you line up for our 75-lap main in this one. We had an incredible shower about an hour and a half ago. Big props to the Speedway crew for getting this Speedway dried out, and a little hand for Mother Nature, too, and getting us ready to go. Good crowd on hand tonight, and if it's anything like last year's race was here in Nashville, it's going to be a lot of fun.
The energy is absolutely electric here tonight. I love this crowd already, and I can't wait to see their reaction to this racing tonight.
Well, they're all standing for the start, and we are, too. We hope you're comfortably seated wherever you're watching. But the excitement's worth standing for. It's Newgarden in purple. Tony Stewart in red to his outside, coming to the green flag in Music City.
Perfect jump for Newgarden there. That's exactly what he wanted, get away from the guys behind him. But I know he wants to settle in, but this guy's got a great start going here.
And they went 3 wide, middle of the pack. The 46 red, white, and blue car, the patriotic theme. That is the local hero, the local all-star, Cole Williams. He got stuck in the middle of a 3-wide sandwich, and they all got away with it.
Well, in practice earlier, he was quite a lot faster than everyone else. So he definitely has the experience here. And I was watching the race earlier, for a late model race here. You can run that middle lane. You can run 2 wide here quite a lot more than we expect. And it's a lot faster of a track than we've run so far this season. And that means that you're going to see a lot more excitement here, I think.
So this race is going on back for about 6th and 7th. Look back to Matt Kenseth. Right in the middle of that as well.
This track is very aggressive on tires also,
yes.
So we're going to talk about that a lot. The drivers do get a new set after the heat races, but right now you're still going to try to figure out how much can we push these things? How much can we go side by side without wearing them out? Because you might feel like a hero the first 2 laps being able to run the top side, but then you have no tires left.
Marco Andretti in orange, running in 7th spot. You look from the back bumper of his car on the left, on the right, looking ahead from Matt Kenseth's visor cam. What it's like to be bouncing around in traffic here at the fairgrounds.
I absolutely love the visor cam. One of the best things that motorsport broadcasting has gotten in the last few years. It is a perfect view to see what the drivers are dealing with, and exactly you kind of feel the bumps. You feel what goes through the drivers' bodies as they're getting into these corners.
So falls in line behind Marco, and Williams drops in behind him. So again, that's for 7th, 8th, and 9th positions. Here's Ryan Newman, last week's winner at Stafford, with a brief peek to the inside.
And guess who's got a big old lead? Joseph Newgarden, multi-time IndyCar champion, but he also doesn't know how these tires wear, so I'm curious to see if he's just out there pounding around, hoping that everything's well by the end of the second heat.
All right, you already told us you stayed at his house last night. One of your rivals in IndyCar racing, but obviously very, very friendly away from the track. What did he really say about doing this for the first time?
Well, I've known Joseph since we were 12 years old, so we have gone through a lot in our racing careers. We've been racing against each other since that age, and he's reached a point in his life where he now has automated toilets in his new house. So I'm very excited for him and his success. He's just had his first child. Everything goes right for Joseph Newgarden. He's kind of like really the ideal human, and he looks like a Greek god. So it's impressive to see him out here doing his thing, and I'm glad he got this opportunity, because honestly, so many of us have wondered, like, what else is Joseph going to drive? Like, Joseph only races IndyCar. Like, he's really, really just kind of in that series, and I think every driver always wants to get out into something else and try it, and I think he's honestly, he was super pumped to get out here.
I saw Joseph earlier today. We were talking. He said, I have never raced anything with fenders on it in my career. Well, you are tonight, and you're leading at your hometown track in Nashville. So right behind Newgarden, things beginning to stack up a little bit for second. That's Elio Castroneves in red, Bobby Labonte in white, and then Tony Stewart in the brighter red car, second, third, and fourth. Now, Castroneves, back with the series this week after missing the race a week ago, has won a heat race in 4 of the last 5 SRX events he's competed in. So Elio's kind of figured this out a little bit.
Elio's having a great SRX season. Both him and I were dueling it out in IndyCar once again last weekend, but he's back here again, and we see him at the front of the grid. So it's pretty impressive.
Caution flag is out. Our SRX green flag lap limit. We'll put the yellow out, take a break, come back, double them up, and send them off again. Just underway in Nashville, Tennessee at the Fairgrounds Speedway. Pretty fancy pace car leading them around, too.
Camp for less at Camping World. Right now, get a new Coleman Lantern 17B, this camping starter kit, 2 years of Good Sam Road Rescue, and a 3-year Good Sam RV warranty for just $149 a month. That's less than $5 a day. Plus, we have the best selection of camping and RV supplies, starting at just $9.99. We've got an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget. Camping has never been more affordable. You always camp for less at Camping World. Click, call, or come into your local Camping World today.
So I said, yeah, you're saving hundreds with the home and auto bundle from Progressive, but there's no saving that casserole.
I just love that word bundle. It's so fun. So you have two things coming together like a force of nature, like it was really meant to be, you know?
Yes. Yes, I do. I'm so glad you want to save money. Rodney, set up a bundle for John Hamm.
Of course. John, is it still cool if I catch a ride home with you?
I never said it was.
You know, but technically you didn't say it wasn't.
It's not.
Yet. Can I get it Mike's way? What's happening? And your free sub. Enjoy.
That was super weird.
Oh, that? Nah. She just used the shore points you can now earn from chip and drink purchases to get free sub through the app. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Hey, babe, meet us at the bottom of the trail.
Oh, man.
Hey!
Open up the redesigned Chevy Silverado with a sophisticated high-tech interior.
Open the door.
It's easy to forget it's a truck.
Thanks.
Nice truck.
It was.
Find new style. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
Coming to the green flag here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway as our Superstar Saturday Night, presented by Camping World, brings you the SRX All-Stars tonight on one of America's great short tracks. This Nashville Fairgrounds track's been around for a long time. It's hosted some of the greatest short track races in the sport's history, and it's produced some of the sport's biggest stars over the years. Now, one of the current stars of the track is the local all-star in our field tonight. Cole Williams is from Southern Indiana. He's 26-year-old, two-time track champion here, the current track championship leader, and a young guy with big dreams who's thrilled to be making connections and competing against some of his idols tonight.
It was great talking with him earlier. I got to kind of just ask a few questions on the track and what are the details, what does it take to be fast here, and he definitely knows, so I'm excited to see how he does tonight.
All right, Williams right now is back toward the tail end of the field after losing a few positions on the initial start. Newgarden in purple, Castroneves in the red, green flag, and we're back at it.
Former Penske teammates in IndyCar going head-to-head in the SRX Series. We love to see this.
Newgarden squeezes up in front of Castroneves, so now Bobby Labonte in white to the inside for second place.
I love to see this. Joseph's probably got his eyes in his mirrors looking at who's going to be attacking him first, and we've got Bobby Labonte on the low side trying to get Elio.
Bobby Labonte, NASCAR Hall of Famer, so consistent in his competition here in the SRX Series, but hasn't got the checkered flag yet, and he wants it badly.
Oh, yes, and you saw Elio sliding into the corner there. This track has such an old surface that it's quite slippery, honestly, and everyone's going to have to deal with that tonight. I got to do a few laps earlier, and it is a real challenge to keep the car underneath you. And now, these guys, a few of the other tracks before this, not quite as high of a top speed, so now you're throwing these things in with a little bit higher top speed, and the rear can get out from underneath you, and that's what they're trying to deal with here. Keep the rear underneath you, keep the tires underneath you, because you got to have them for the long run.
These SRX cars have a lot of horsepower, 700 plus horsepower.
Yeah.
So on a track where you're trying to keep the tires underneath you, it's a big challenge.
Oh yeah, they got some juice. And when I was getting this sucker off of turn 4 earlier, I mean, you could slide the rears all the way to the start-finish line. So that's when you know you're having a great time.
Bobby Labonte is a former winner here in Nashville. Got a win a number of years ago in what was then NASCAR Busch Series competition. Matt?
Well, Alan, we talked before the race, and also Connor just touched on just how different this racetrack is, the incredible sensation of speed. Also, these guys are talking about the sensation of lack of grip, consistent through the whole field. The comments under the caution, no forward bite, meaning they can't get the car to jump back in the gas off the corner, and then it's so loose on entry. They're going to do a tire change at the end of Heat 2, a little bit of adjustment here or there, and they should be good to go. Connor, big name dropper. What was the Newgarden's refrigerator?
Well, let me tell you, Matt, Newgarden has every single thing you could ever imagine in his refrigerator, and is it stacked up appropriately? Absolutely, and it goes all the way to the back of the fridge, so it's pretty impressive.
Everything in a row.
Everything. You got sparkling waters, you got the wines, you got all kinds of good things.
Pretty good traffic jam here. This is Michael Waltrip being chased by Matt Kenseth. Look for Matt's visor cam. And you got Tony Kanong, Greg Biffle, Ryan Hunter-Ray, and the local all-star Cole Williams all in this group. This is for 8th place on back.
I love seeing the overhead shot we saw just a little bit earlier, because you could see almost every single car at yaw sliding into the corner. We're going to see that all night as the tires get older, and that will be the key to this race, certainly in the long run, is who can keep that under control, who can keep themselves just ahead of the game when it comes to tire wear.
A couple guys that have raced against each other a lot in NASCAR competition. Here's Kenseth underneath Waltrip, off of turn 4.
Matt Kenseth and Michael Waltrip, two names that you absolutely have to recognize if you know motorsport, and it's just awesome to see these guys battling with each other.
Of course, this the Speedway where Darrell Waltrip made his name, 67-time winner. Michael's got a win here, too. It was a while ago, 1984.
I was not alive.
Ooh, that hurts. And Michael brought his one of his 2 Daytona 500 winners trophies here to Nashville with him for an appearance he made downtown for his beer business that we showed you last week from Stafford.
The first first thing Michael Waltrip said to me about 9 hours ago. Well, let's say about 8 hours ago, probably around practice time. He's like, only 9 hours until I get to the bar so he can have some of his beers.
Think about what those Daytona 500 winners trophies mean, right? And Michael had his arm wrapped around it and was sharing it with everybody. He said, it gives me joy to let people see it up close rather than it just be locked away in my trophy case somewhere all the time.
Loud and proud. If you win that race, everyone better know it.
Yeah. Joseph Newgarden, in his IndyCar career, has won 4 times when starting on the pole. He's about to win a heat race after starting on the pole in his first try in an SRX car. Side by side, Stewart barely edges out Newman. That would be for 6th place. And heat race number 1 is in the books. Not bad, rookie.
About how I expected it to go.
Did you? All right.
Typical Joseph Newgarden.
The 2-time NTT IndyCar Series champion, Joseph Newgarden, starts on pole, leads every lap, and wins heat number 1 here in Nashville.
Camping World SRX Series on CBS Sports is sponsored by Progressive. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. And by Camping World. Camp for less with Camping World.
Welcome back to a Superstar Saturday night from Music City. We've got the first heat all wrapped up. Here are your results. You heard Alan Bestwick talking about Joseph Newgarden right before the break. He's in that front spot, followed by Elio Castroneves and Bobby Labonte in 3rd. So music and racing is something that together makes Music City sing, right? So you probably recognize the name John Oates, half of the most successful selling musical duo, Hall & Oates. But what you might not know is he has lived in Nashville for 13 years. He's been racing cars for more than 40. So we thought, who better to give us the scoop on car culture in Nashville than Mr. Oates himself?
I love that the Superstar Racing experience is back here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway for another exciting night of racing. Last season, it was Chase Elliott who took the checkered flag, competing against his Hall of Fame father, Bill.
Checkered flag is out, and Chase Elliott will win tonight in Music City.
And I can't believe it's been a whole year since I hung with my guy Smoke at the Grand Ole Opry. And something I'll never forget are the laps that I took in that number 14 car. That was the first car ever to cross the newly paved Fairgrounds finish line 64 years ago. And I also had the opportunity to drive one of the amazing SRX cars. And let me tell you, that was the real deal. And you know, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway is one of the oldest tracks still operating in the United States, dating back to 1904. Some of the legends who helped grow this sport have raced right here on this track. Folks like Dale Earnhardt, Bill Elliott, members of the Petty family, and Middle Tennessee's own Hall of Famer, Darrell Waltrip. And if you're a local, you'll remember this car, 64 Chevelle. This is just like the one that Waltrip drove right here on this very track. And under the hood is a 356 cubic inch small block Chevy engine that roars like a lion. They don't make them like that anymore. Now, what we all love about SRX is that it brings the best drivers together from all disciplines. And tonight, we're watching one of this year's most prolific drivers in IndyCar, Joseph Newgarden. That's Joseph with an F, so he must be from Germany, Denmark, maybe he's Norwegian. I don't know. Stick around for part 2 as I get to hang with one of the best IndyCar drivers in the biz.
Cannot wait to hear that conversation Wednesday on CBS. Reality show all-stars from Big Brother, Survivor, Love Island, and The Amazing Race battle it out to win $500,000 and see who has what it takes to be America's best. The Challenge USA Wednesday after Big Brother on CBS. We've got a lot more to come here on the Camping World SRX series on CBS. Stick with us. Much more racing right after the break. Not ask for a better stage than the Nashville Fairgrounds in the heart
fantastic facility. I love the town. I love the energy. I love the vibe. And the crowd there was amazing.
The history of Nashville is going to be really special. I like old fairgrounds tracks. It's got a lot of historical value, and I appreciate that. I ran one of my first Xfinity Series races ever at Nashville, so that's a cool track. I'm really looking forward to getting back there the most.
The Nashville I'm really looking forward to. Oh, the crowd was amazing. That was a super cool race.
The drivers love this town. They love this track. It's ready to get the action going back on the track. Let's send it back up to Alan Bestwick and Connor Daly. Guys, take it away.
All right, Lance, thanks. I know you love coming to Nashville as well, especially to race.
Absolutely. I mean, we have the IndyCar race here in a couple of weeks, August 5th weekend, and the Music City Grand Prix is an incredible experience. So we love this place. Energy's high. I was here for the 4th of July, too, and I had an incredible time.
And I suspect probably have an incredible time later on tonight when we're done here, too. Just saying. So they're doubled up for the restart. Notice how quickly I moved along from that subject matter. And the local all-star, Cole Williams, in the Patriotic Machine will start on pole for the second of our 2 heat races. They've lined up in invert order up there, finishing the first one. So Ryan Hunter-Reay in the black #1 machine is outside of Williams as they come to turn 4 for the start.
Great start from the field there. Ryan Hunter-Reay, Captain America, slides a little wide there on entry, and he's getting taken advantage of pretty aggressively there by Biffle in the number 69 machine.
Biffle in the gold car to the inside.
Very curious to see how that high lane rubbers in as we race on here, because I think these cars are capable of going too wide for a while if we can get a bit of grip out there, and we'll see what happens.
Michael Waltrip in the light blue machine. There's Ryan Newman to his inside, last week's winner. Oop, little bump there.
Michael Waltrip does not want to be pushed around here anymore. We've seen him get into it with a few guys, and
Marco Andretti
right behind them.
Dives to the inside of Newman as Newman got stacked up behind Waltrip.
And we know after last weekend, Marco wants to beat Ryan Newman. It was a great race between those two. Marco's had a really impressive season these last few races, and these two guys have been battling it out for several weeks in a row.
Marco Andretti in that orange car has led the most laps of any driver in SRX competition this year.
He just hasn't got
the winner's trophy yet.
I think he's well capable of doing it, and now he's got Michael Waltrip right in front of him. And this is a tough position to be in as a race car driver, because you've got some speed. You're trying to go side by side with the guy, but if there's a car right in front of you, well, you can't go anywhere else except into the rear end of his car.
Right, so watch this.
Racing here between everyone, and I'm sure at some point it's going to get a little bit more aggressive than that right there.
Little bump, Paul Tracy in lime green on Michael Waltrip. How about PT with his first SRX podium at Stafford last Saturday night?
He was pumped about that. I was excited for him too, honestly. After such a rough weekend in South Boston, to see Paul, get a trophy, bring one home. I mean, he's still a competitor. He's an incredibly passionate about his motor racing.
Now remember, the starting position for the main event is on the average of your 2 heat race finishes. So watch that white car right behind Paul Tracy in lime green. You're looking inside Paul from a camera that's mounted up like outside the right side window, which is a pretty cool view.
Yeah, it's a great camera here. Paul is getting after it, trying to figure out how he can move forward. He's sliding a little bit wider than a few others on entry to 1 and 2, but it's all about experimentation. These guys did not get a ton of practice, so for them, they're still feeling it out and trying to figure out what's going to be the best line for later in the race.
Let's talk about that white car, Bobby Labonte, right behind Paul, because Bobby, finishing toward the front in the first heat race, started toward the back of this second one. You pick up 4, 5, 6 spots in the second heat race from the back, you're in good shape for the grid for the main event.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobby's definitely made a good amount of progress. Joseph Newgarden has not. He's struggled to make his way forward, and it just goes to show you, clear track and clear air does so much for you in these cars, and especially at a quicker track like this. So I'm very curious to see how that plays out as we keep going here.
And a good look at the calorie burn on Bobby Labonte from our Whoop live onboard telemetry.
And you see Joseph Newgarden slide super wide there. The cars are absolutely losing grip. You can tell the tires are wearing it. I've seen several guys now miss the apex quite consistently.
Tony Kanaan in that pink car, back with the series this week. He made a trip to pit road between the two heat races and had a little adjustment made on his car among the few adjustments you're allowed to actually have made.
Maybe he just got a bag of ice to put in his race suit. Maybe it's a little warm. Who knows?
Well, Matt Gilcom can tell us exactly.
The biggest thing about Tony Kanaan, he made contact at the beginning of the race with another car, knocked the toe out, which means the car just wants to pull to the right side. When he came in, they adjusted that toe to get him ready, also slight air pressure adjustment, but he had to start at the back since he created the contact and damage to the car.
All right, thanks, Matt. So TK trying to dig out of some of that lost track position. He's running in 10th place right now, right behind his old running mate, Elio Castroneves.
Yeah, great to see those guys running together once again. It's interesting how the field has spaced out here. It's a longer track, so everyone is going to have small differences in their styles, but when you have such a long straight to kind of spread everything out a little bit, it does look like no one can really go anywhere. So I'm curious to see what happens as we get to the later laps. A couple laps to go, the tires will really be falling off.
Tony Stewart is all the way at the end of the line in this second heat race in 13th place.
Yeah, this is something that's very interesting to me. Tony Stewart was the odds-on favorite to win this race if you're a gambling man, and I'm very curious to see what happens.
Let's eavesdrop on his radio.
Everything all right there, bud? No, this is all I got.
Well, that's not good at all.
That's not what you expect to hear from Tony Stewart in one of these SRX cars.
Or he's lying directly to our faces and he's just saving his tires for later. Who knows?
Paul Tracy, Matt Kenseth, Bobby Labonte having a pretty good race. First one in line that's side by side anyway.
Bobby is on a tear right now. I like Bobby Labonte tonight. He is really the biggest mover, I think, in this race so far, and really in general of both heat races so far.
So Bobby finished third in the first heat race. He's running sixth in this second heat race now. You see Marco Andretti with a pretty good leap forward in this second heat also.
Yeah, great showing from both those guys, honestly. I can't wait to see how Bobby figures out how to get around Paul Tracy.
There's our SRX green flag lap limit, yellow flag. I call it the fun flag, whether you like it or not.
I'm having a great time.
We're going to double them up, and it's going to be a fun restart.
Black and shiny, and
Cole Williams, the local all-star, leads heat race number 2 tonight at Nashville.
A bolt of fear went through him as they thundered through the sky.
Our passion for protecting vehicles started in 1934. And we've been pushing the limits of performance ever since. We innovate with the times and have the trusted filters to fit your needs. Yeah, we've been around the block, but our journey is just beginning. Fram for the road ahead. Find these Fram filters exclusively at Advanced Auto Parts and CarQuest.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone, ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T.
Get up, get moving, and gradually reduce grays the easiest way. Just step into the shower with Just For Men Control GX shampoo. The first and only shampoo that blends away a little gray with every wash for a subtle, natural look. Control GX from Just For Men.
This pepperoni was carefully placed by hand by a pizza maker at Papa John's. Just like this one, and that one over there. Ooh, and even these in the crust. Get yourself the new Epic Pepperoni Stuffed Crust Pizza, only at Papa John's.
Here's to those with homework this summer, group projects, and workshops. Here's to those with morning meetings, networking events, and Zoom sessions. Here's to those with summer jobs and the truck that goes to work with them. Ram, built to serve.
Every dollar counts these days, so take advantage of this great offer from Ram Trucks.
CBS Sports live in Nashville, Tennessee for a Superstar Saturday night tonight, the Camping World SRX Series at the historic Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, where the local all-star Cole Williams leads our second heat race as we get to the 1-to-go signal for a restart. This may be the most accomplished SRX field ever, which is saying a lot because we gather racing superstars every week. But by adding Joseph Newgarden and Matt Kenseth in tonight, we have 5 NASCAR Cup championships, 6 IndyCar championships, 5 Daytona 500 wins in the field, and
several Indy 500 wins.
6 Indianapolis 500 wins also. That's quite a group. We're not kidding when we say it's Superstar Saturday night. And we got Connor Daly in the booth too. So.
Well, look, all those guys have a lot more trophies than I do. I promise you that.
Here we go. Green flag.
Great start by Biffle on the outside.
Biffle in gold. Williams in the red, white, and blue car. Marco Andretti squeezes Ryan Hunter-Reay off to get 3rd spot.
Love to see a couple old teammates rubbing doors a little bit against each other. That's awesome. We know Marco and Greg Biffle have a bit of history after South Boston and Pensacola. There's a lot more contact on this restart than I expected.
Yeah, guys back for about 6th in line have been sliding around all over the place. Up front, this is side-by-side for 2nd as Andretti slides clear of Greg Biffle for the spot.
Marco is on it tonight. That was an incredible restart. Taking no prisoners.
And you know what? He's having so much fun racing these cars on Saturday nights, Marco Andretti.
Absolutely. He's got a great group of friends here, too, and I know that they are quite loosened up on the old beverages this evening, and everyone's going to be excited if he wins.
Okay, look at the right front of Hunter-Reay's car. He's turned to the right trying to save that car, and Helio Castroneves can't get one up in time. This is a couple laps ago in turn 1.
Yeah, Helio's car is extremely broken. That right front wheel did things that it should not do.
And because that fender is now missing from the Castroneves car, the caution is out. There it sits on the front straightaway in the racing line. So yellow for debris.
You know what that is a classic indication of is this track. Again, we mentioned it was fast, and on restarts, you're 2x2, you got a bit of an extra draft that you don't normally have, and when you're flying into turn 1, everyone from the first 2 rows back are going quite a lot faster than you would when you're running by yourself, and Ryan already was crossed up, and Elio cannot get on the brakes quick enough, and sometimes when the air is dirty like that, you can't use the aero to help you stop as much as normal, and it's just a classic contact move right there.
Well, Elio's car is bruised.
Yeah.
And
Elio loves using that right front.
Yeah. His feelings maybe too, because he had high hopes of another main event win tonight. And look at that.
I don't know if that's going to get it done tonight.
Tony Stewart on pit road. And the SRX crew looking under his car. You see the time has run out on our timed heat race, so this one is going to finish just the way it is now with that caution flag. And the local all-star, Indiana's Cole Williams, is going to get a heat race win tonight. The track point leader here at the Fairgrounds Speedway is going to get a checkered flag to take away from it tonight in a totally different type of car.
Yeah, honestly pumped for him. He said it's great performance. Had a couple restarts that he had to go through, but comes away with the win.
So checkered flag will wave, and the local fans are going to give their guy a salute. Cole Williams. Yeah, fireworks are worthy.
Fantastic round of applause here from the fans. Love to see it.
There you go. All right, our 2 heat races are in the books, and still to come tonight in Music City, the main event. Who is going to win it tonight in Nashville? Well, that's the fun. We all get to find out together. But heat race wins to Joseph Newgarden and Cole Williams. And lots more still to come from Music City.
Welcome back to the Camping World SRX series on CBS. I'm just going to say I would gladly set up shop in that oasis right there in the middle of the infield. But back to the racing. Let's show you a look at who finished where. Oh, wow. Check that out. We're not done yet. We got fireworks. And now to the fireworks on the racetrack. Let's take a look at the results from heat number 2. Yep, it's the local ringer Cole Williams who finished in the lead, followed by Marco Andretti and Greg Biffle. It's Matt Yoakum standing by with Cole Williams. Yoakum.
Lindsay, it certainly was a tale of 2 heats for Cole Williams. What has this experience been like? You're voted in by the fans, and you put on quite a show for them.
Oh, it's definitely a huge experience. To be able to race with these guys, I mean, you're racing with the best of the best. So, be able to do it and try to learn as much as I can there. We kind of struggled there the first heat race with the super free, and they actually let us come and kind of just pressures a little bit. So, I don't know if the clean air helped or what. No, it was a different car in the second heat. So, I don't know where we're going to line up for the feature, but we're still going to learn here and hopefully try to pull off the win.
Certainly mix it up. No Cornwell tools needed just yet, but he's got donuts on 3 of 4 corners of the race car, Willie.
I got 4-time Indy 500 champion Elio Castroneves and the first winner in Pensacola. That's where we were, right? Hot as hell, right? SRX. What, doing a little body work there?
I know, right? Just like you, buddy. No, just, it was. I was expecting Hunter Ray to stop because he was on a run somebody, and I thought he was going to stop, but obviously he kept going and kind of like went sideways. And I was committing to go outside. He just slid over. I was like, no, he didn't have enough time to brake. I said, please don't spin out. Please don't spin out. Thank God he did, and good job. And unfortunately, I ended up getting the bad of it. But thank God, this time I didn't take anybody else.
Well, you're in the main, and you're in good shape.
That's true.
And you know how to get to the front.
I know. I just want to make sure that the hood stays there, doesn't fly away, and then we're going to go to the front.
Just stay away from some of those guys.
I know. PTO's right in front of us, like, no, look at me and him again. No, but he's doing a phenomenal job.
All right, babe. Lindsay, you're on.
I think he gave you a compliment there with that bodywork comment. I don't know, maybe it's just me. All right, we asked you guys because we want to know who is going to win the main event, and we want to hear what you have to say. So take some time to share with us. Visit twitter.com/SRX Racing to cast your vote. So as we said, in that third spot after Heat 2, it was Greg Biffle. You know, Biffle is a guy that has raced it all, and as we bring in Matt Yoakum now, Yoakum got to see him lift the veil on one of his hobbies that happens to take place far away from any racetrack, right, Yoakum?
Well, Lindsay, when you think about it, it's a constant through all of sport. It doesn't matter the discipline, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, auto racing. So many times athletes are one-dimensional, all in on their particular sport, and then when they retire, they really don't know what to do themselves. Greg Biffle will tell you, he's not busy. He's busier now than he's ever been. Doesn't need 7, he needs 8 days a week.
Hey guys, I'm Greg Biffle. We are in Speedway, Virginia today. Hey guys, let's take that newer 40-ton truck that's loaded and dump it down here with the crushed rock. All right, you can dump it out. And you're going to get to see a little tour of Triple B Stone, my rock quarry, here just outside of Wytheville, Virginia. I know you're getting voltage over there. Look, I was in this building and I shut the crusher down. Nothing was wrong. Everything ran fine. When I was 6, 7, 8 years old, I got 50 cents an hour to work. I saved up enough money to buy a motorcycle. I love motorcycles, anything that burnt gas. That work ethic became important that I could get those things that I wanted. I bought everything myself with money that I earned. I was building this large pond with river rock on the shoreline, the top 6 feet. The quarry I was getting it from went belly up. I tried to find the same material everywhere else, and I simply couldn't. And one of the guys working for me told me the quarry went out of business, and I said, well, that's a no-brainer. I'll just buy it. And I had a few pieces of equipment, and I thought, $100,000 or $200,000, I'll have everything I need. That was off by probably 10 times. It's been an uphill battle and struggle, but we're doing well with it, and I enjoy some hard work. So here's one of our Sand Outlaw Series builds. This thing here makes a bit over 500 horsepower, getting close to what that SRX car or now even the Cup cars make. the start of my NASCAR career in the trucks. Got a huge interest in business. As I became successful, I looked for opportunities that were fun, enjoyable, outside of the sport. It just kind of fit together. So here we are in the CNC machine room at Pace Off Road. And we build most all the parts for our Sand Outlaw cars. So this is a spindle we use on our cars. Starts out as this block of aluminum. I got my fill of racing every weekend, and I put 100% effort in it. Hey, bud. Did you just wake up? So I wanted to decompress from that. The list is pretty long of things I enjoyed to do. I'm a jack of all trades, but master of none. I enjoy and I learn on the way. They only make one of me. And if I had another one of me, then he might put me out of business.
Well said. Great comment. All right, back here on the track. Greg Biffle, by the way, trying to get all business back out on this track. But what makes it so unique? Well, it is that steep banking. It's the sweeping turns. Here now is some more information from those that know this racetrack best and are progressive at the track.
This place is special. The Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, to me, it's on everybody's bucket list. It's a must-go-to racetrack for short track fans across America.
Listen to the roar at Nashville.
You could not ask for a better stage for our series finale than this.
Fans on their feet. Chase Elliott will win tonight in Music City.
Having the SRX race here and showing to the community that we can bring 15,000 people and sell out a short track Saturday night race. It is a big deal for the long-term success of Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
To me, Nashville is the greatest short track in the country, bar none. And I think it opened a lot of people's eyes when they saw those SRX cars racing there and what the potential could be. The grandstand was full. The infield was full. There was a lot of excitement, more than I'd seen down there in ages.
There's been good crowds here for local races, but nothing like what they had for the SRX race last year. It was incredible. The atmosphere was just electric, and it was like a throwback from 40 years ago.
Anytime you have a sellout crowd with a successful event, that's going to renew interest in the future. You know, what is the future going to be? The whole area is being renovated, so the racetrack is now in line. We'll see where all this ends up, but I feel very confident that the facility will be in a renovation mode.
In order to get the thing to where it needs to be, we got to spend money on it to fix it up. It's run down. It needs revitalized. People certainly would love to have a cup race back at the fairground.
There hasn't been a cup race at the fairgrounds since the 1980s, so there's a little bit of work to do, from safer barriers and the pavements getting old and catch fencing and a little more infrastructure around the speedway. So it could be a very exciting time if this all goes through.
Having the SRX series here has got to show the people that are making the decisions it's just something we need to do and get done now and not keep dragging our feet over. We just need somebody to raise the starting gate and say, okay, go forward with your plans.
People are clamoring. They want short tracks, so if they raise enough cane and they holler loud enough and the squeaking wheel just might get a little bit of grease.
Well, I got NFL legend and Nashville legend Eddie George here. He's looking for a job, actually, to drive, and he brought his helmet. I want to see him in this car.
Oh, I'm willing to get in one of these cars, too. I'm anxious to get in there all day.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I think I can drive this bad boy around there and beat everybody.
Well, I think that you're big enough to pull someone out of the cockpit.
Well, not quite. I'm pretty sure it'll beat my old behind up. So, it's exciting to be out here. Nashville night, beautiful night. It's holding off the rain a little bit, but it's great to see all these legends out here competing at a high level. Nashville has been awesome. They chant my name now. So, but it's been great.
You're the mayor and the governor here.
I wouldn't say that. They be the mayor, not the governor.
Back to you.
Thank you, Willie. Safe to say, Eddie George plays football as well as John Oates plays music. When we come back, we are going to hear part 2 of Oates' success and take on Nashville. His sit down with Joseph Newgart next.
If you come from no fenders, it seemed like you get pretty aggressive. Obviously, we have some fenders on them. We can kind of rub a little bit and use your best judgment on how much you lean on somebody or not to lean on somebody.
There's a fender there. You can use it. Just don't wipe anybody out. That's a good rule to follow.
I'm getting kicked around like a soccer ball out here. Everybody is driving like 10 tenths to the maximum. If you're going to get by a guy, you need to move him.
The world I come from with open wheeled, there is no bumping, there is no rubbing. So now it is nice being able to use a fender here and there and to be able to let a guy know that you're there. And if you do get into someone and it turns into a wreck, just a mistake. I messed up. I got a little too aggressive. It's racing. It's been that way for 100 years. One guy's going to be mad, another guy's going to be happy.
And I think Newman falls in that category of multitasker combo player because he started out in open wheel, but going back a week ago, the headline stealer was simply your return to victory lane. You don't wear your emotions on your sleeve ever, but did you get choked up at all at any point?
Yeah, I for sure was. About 2 to go, it hit me on the backstretch. I remember right where I was in the backstretch, but that emotion changed when I saw my baby girls in victory lane, and they were so excited, and I flipped that emotion from whatever you call it as a guy to just being happy and enjoying the moment. So it was really, really special, and thank everybody at SRX, Camping World, Sun Outdoors, and I think they're calling me back in the car, but it's sure been a lot of fun. We'll try to get going here. We start 7, so we got some work to do.
All right, Lindsay?
Thank you so much, Joachim. Yeah, Ryan Newman loves collecting his race cars. We told you before, John Oates is a race car aficionado. He could not wait to sit down and talk music and racing with Joseph Newgarden.
Joseph, welcome to Nashville, Tennessee.
John, I'm from here. I grew up like 15 miles north of here.
Where at, man?
Hendersonville.
Well, of course, I knew that. And Hendersonville is pretty well known for its rich country music history.
Yeah, it's wild when you think about everybody from Hendersonville. I grew up probably a couple miles from where Johnny Cash lived.
Roy Orbison?
Roy Orbison, yeah, absolutely. And then Taylor Swift was actually in Hendersonville. She went to Hendersonville High School. I didn't, but it was very close to the middle school that I grew up.
I think Taylor Swift dedicated a children's playground in Hendersonville.
It's more than I've done, so maybe I need to step my game up.
Can you sing?
John, you know I can't. If I could, I'd probably be doing that. I would love to be a rock star, but...
But you can drive a car.
I can drive. Thank goodness I can drive a car.
So, Joseph, 2022, you are having a great season. You've got 3 IndyCar wins on 3 completely different types of circuits: oval, street course, and road course. What do you attribute your success to?
For us to have the complexity to be able to transition between all those tracks and win in all of them is so critical to win the championship. If you can't win at a place like Texas Speedway, which is where we got our first one, Super Speedway, 1.5 miles long, and then we go to Long Beach, which is a famous street circuit, totally different, and then you go to Road America, which is a very famous permanent road course in North America. So those are the 3 wins we've had, and you've got to be good at all track types if you want to win the championship, like I said.
And with all this going on, you still seem to have time to dabble in a media career. You've got that great YouTube show, Bus Bros.
We wanted to show, who we really are away from the track. What are we doing that's not involved in the racing activity? So we created this show, Bus Bros. We said, look, we're traveling to all these events. We live in buses during the weekend. Let's set up outside the buses and create a show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 6 of Bus Bros.
This is a beautiful bus.
It's beautiful. How long have you had this bus? This is a chicken.
No, he's an eagle.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Now I realize.
Great job. There's really no logic to what we're doing, John, okay? I think the chaos is what we thrive in.
You know what? That's what makes it fun. And I love when Helio thought that Scott was a chicken. I thought that was amazing.
You do sound like a chicken.
So, SRX, what made you want to get behind the wheel here in Nashville?
So I was here last year, John. I came to watch the race. I found this so interesting, this series. It was a great challenge. And I think that's the big thing for me is the challenge of being able to go up against different drivers from different disciplines, on all equal cars, and come together on a weekend like this and really test your skill set. And I love that. I've not had a lot of those opportunities in my career yet. So, we'll see how this one goes first.
Hey, man, it's old school Saturday night short track racing, right?
Absolutely. And look, you can't beat this form of racing, in my opinion. I love short track racing. I've never tried it with this type of car, but this is the style of racing that I'd want to go up against a lot of different drivers at.
There you go.
Love that conversation. Tomorrow on CBS, our day begins at noon Eastern with live coverage of the Genesis Scottish Open. Then at 3, we move from the course to the court for summer hoops action in the Big 3. That's all coming up tomorrow right here on CBS. We've got a lot more short track racing coming from Nashville. Stay with us. Camping World Series on CBS continues. Welcome back. It's hard to believe just 2 weeks left after tonight's race in Nashville. From here on out, we're heading dirt racing. Next weekend, we're going to be in Peevely, Missouri, just outside St. Louis, and we wrap our series the weekend after that in Sharon, Ohio, home of the legendary Blaney family. That week will also feature NASCAR champion Joey Logano, who will join us for some short track action. He'll be in the booth watching his teammate Ryan Blaney racing against his father, Dave. Next Saturday, 8 Eastern on CBS. Alan Bestwick and Connor Daly, what do you guys say we get this thing started? Main event right around the corner.
Let's go. Ready. Drivers are ready. Cars are on the track. They're doubled up. They get their final commands. Starting lineup coming across the bottom of the screen. It is the average finish of the 2 heat races. So Bobby Labonte and Marco Andretti will be on the front row to start our main event.
2 guys that we talked about quite a lot, having great nights tonight. I am very curious. We've got NASCAR versus IndyCar on the front row, and very, very interested to see how this will play out for them.
Podium Paul Tracy starting inside row 2, and Joseph Newgarden outside of row number 2 to start our main event. Our progressive race summary. Newgarden and Williams both led every lap of our 2 heat races. Marco Andretti gained 11 spots between the 2 heats. And Tony Stewart had the worst finish of any SRX race he's been in that second heat race. He's got a lot of work to do. We'll see if they were able to help him with the performance of his car. Here they come to start our 75-lap main event in Music City. It's the Superstars on a Saturday night. Green flag.
Fantastic looking start there right out the gate. Bobby Labonte and Marco Andretti side by side down the back straight.
Labonte eases ahead, squeezes off Andretti for the lead. Paul Tracy gets a little nip as they're double wide behind him.
And Elio Castroneves has to be really careful with the lack of bodywork on the right front of that thing, because he's gonna cut that right front down if he catches a wrong piece of bodywork on that tire.
I don't know, Elio, 4-time Indy 500 winner. He's used to racing with open wheels.
Yeah, but we've seen him get rid of a few different people with that right front fender, and now it's gone.
This is true.
Still side by side, deep in the pack as well. There's going to be a lot of guys that, especially Cole, the local legend here, who was quite successful in that second heat. He's going to want to move to the front because he saw what clean air did for him.
Biffle kind of pinched up on that outside, can't get down. Ryan Hunter-Reay in the black car went by him. Now there's Matt Kenseth to the inside of Greg Biffle in gold.
Yeah, 2 absolute legends right there from the NASCAR world going at it. Greg Biffle, again, interested to see how far he can move up, because I think he showed some serious speed earlier on in the heat races.
Biffle is one of who's really good at preserving performance in tires. And based on what we talked about earlier in the night, that'll be something to keep an eye on. Remember, this is 75 laps in this main event.
Oh, look. Elio Castroneves and Paul Tracy hitting each other once again. Haven't seen that before this year.
Yeah, and got that exposed right front tire right on the left rear corner of Tracy's car. So it appears no harm
so far. But if he starts getting more aggressive with that right front, that's going to be tough for him. Chasing down his former IndyCar teammate at Team Penske, Joseph Newgarden.
Going to be back for 4th position in line. Newgarden in purple, Castroneves in the deep red.
Just goes to show you how much track position matters. We just saw Joseph Newgarden finish, towards the back of that second heat, but now he's locked into 4th position and having a great battle with everyone here.
See that shower of sparks when Greg Biffle caught that outside wall off turn number 2 at the right side of his car?
Yeah, the wall comes at you real quick here.
How cool is this, though?
I mean, look, rubbing is racing, as they say, yeah. Trying to get back to the power as efficiently as possible here. And the interesting thing about this track, it straightens out real quick, and the banking dies down very quickly out of these corners. It's extremely banked at the apex, and that gives you a lot of comfort to lay in the throttle and lay into the apex of the corner. But as soon as it flattens out at the exits, it is really sketchy.
Matt Yoakum downstairs. You have a chance to talk to Newgarden between the heats and the main event?
Well, he continues to impress. His first ever full start here with a full finished race car. And so he talked to Elio, who won the season opener, but he spent time with Tony Stewart, especially about keeping the driver cool. If you look at that in-car on Newgarden, like Stewart, the air hose that comes in and blows air doesn't go through the top of the helmet to cool the head. He's actually got it migrating through the suit like Stewart does. He's got a loop, sends the hose there so it shoots air into the suit to keep the core body as cool as possible. Lessons learned from a stock car champion, carrying it over to an IndyCar champion here at SRX.
Check out our Whoop Live data. I hope Joseph had a big dinner because he's burning a lot of calories.
Well, he did. We made homemade pizzas in his incredibly expensive rock pizza oven last night, and they were delicious. But 174 beats per minute. I mean, again, if you ever think that drivers aren't athletes, I mean, you're wrong. And this is a fantastic just showing of how hard it is to drive these cars, how intense these guys are going at it right now. And now we've got Joseph Newgarden versus Marco Andretti, two incredible talents from the open wheel world.
Marco got shuffled on a second spot. Paul Tracy went by him. Newgarden got by Andretti also. Now for third, Andretti in orange and Newgarden in the grape-colored car.
Those are two guys right there who, in IndyCar, in my experience of going wheel to wheel with these guys in my IndyCar career, two of the most respectful racers, I would say, in our series, but two very incredibly talented guys as well.
This is Paul Tracy getting by Marco Andretti. He was there.
I mean, yeah, but Paul Tracy didn't care that he was there. He was going to use Marco up right there, and that was very aggressive. Marco is not going to forget that. Paul doing the classic, I will use you as my brake maneuver.
So PT, after finishing on the podium at Stafford a week ago, now running in second spot in our main event behind Bobby Labonte.
I've got to say, Paul is doing an impressive job right now. I am very impressed, and he wants that lead. He wants the win. He got a little taste of the podium last weekend.
Yes,
he's feeling good, brought the medal back to his house, to his incredible poolside bar, and he is ready for a win.
Now Marco Andretti with his hands full as right front fenderless. Elio Castroneves looks underneath him down the backstretch to turn 3. Castroneves trying to nurse that wounded car home after the contact with Hunter Ray in the second heat race.
Yeah, Elio's doing a fantastic job out there with the car that's essentially not fully pieced together. But, as they say, duct tape sometimes makes a race car go faster, and his is essentially covered in duct tape right now. Race tape, excuse me.
Yes.
Yes.
Talking to Elio, you've moved before, right, from one place to another. And if you've ever moved, well, okay, you're young.
Yep.
If you've ever had to move from one place to another, you know what a pain it can be. Elio's been in the process of moving from one place to another while trying to keep his racing schedule up for about the last month. And finally, he thinks they may actually spend the night at their new place tomorrow.
You know what? I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic feeling. It's probably going to be similar to the feeling that he'll get when he gets by Marco Andretti, if he does. Marco is being a little bit defensive there. He doesn't want to lose any more spots. Marco's very smart, though. I think he's caring about his tires right now. Those two up front might be eating away at the tires. I definitely know Paul Tracy eating away at the tires the way he's throwing that thing into turn 1. But we'll see what happens as we get through the laps here.
He's also gaining on Bobby Labonte for the race lead. That's PT in lime green, Bobby in white.
PT going for the most impressive highlight video of the night if he gets the lead here. Bobby is so smooth, though. You see him at work. You can see his experience. Less steering, less sliding of the rear, keeping those tires underneath him for the late race run to the checkered flag.
A top 5 in the last 6 SRX main events for Bobby, the longest such streak ever in SRX competition to this point. But neither Bobby or PT have won an SRX main event.
Not yet.
There you see his last 6 main event finishes for Bobby, NASCAR Hall of Famer.
What this series has done is such an incredible job because these drivers are all so wildly talented and they are so competitive. I love chatting with them before the races, after the practices, because everyone has a smile on their face, but you know that they are so driven to win. And if they can beat the rest of these guys here, it is so satisfying because it's such a wildly diverse field.
And look at the list of accomplishments for the guys you've beaten, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Been a fun week for Bobby. After the race at Stafford Springs, he and his wife Kristen went to the absolute Sistine Chapel of Baseball, Fenway Park in Boston, for a Monday afternoon game to see my beloved Red Sox. Then came down here to Nashville. Bobby's daughter lives here in Nashville. When I came into the racetrack Friday morning, Bobby and Kristen were leaving. I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "Hot yoga." That his daughter was going there with his daughter. I asked him for pictures. He declined to provide.
Elite athlete,
yeah.
Bobby Labonte right there.
I talked to him afterwards. He said, "Yeah, those poses are kind of hard."
Yeah, I tell you one thing, you're not going to find me in a hot yoga room. I wouldn't look good in there at all.
He did point out, though, that a hot yoga class is still nothing like running a heat race in one of these SRX cars on a hot day.
Yeah, right now these guys are burning up in there. It is extremely hot. I would love to actually get a temperature reading on one of the cars if we can get that going. It'd be wild.
Lindsay, have a chat with Bobby, did you?
Alan, you were talking about the hot yoga. Bobby, right before he got back in his car for the main event, had a Ziploc full of ice. I know you talked about his hand that's been bothering him, right? He was zipping up that Ziploc, having a hard time, but it just shows how he's been willing to power through despite that injury.
Bobby banged up his right thumb in a modified race accident on a Wednesday night a couple of weeks ago, and doesn't have the brace or any taping on it anymore, but still, you know, when you're gripping a steering wheel, you talked about the banking and the forces here in Nashville. That's a hard night's work.
Well, it's interesting how a lot of drivers have a different grip and the way they like to have a hand on the wheel. As we see, it's 109 degrees there. Well, I can promise you, I think it's a little hotter if I'm honest, but he has burned a ton of calories tonight. He's working very, very hard, and you don't realize how much you grip the wheel. I just had a moment, literally, we were testing the Indy cars at Iowa Speedway 2 days ago, and I had a moment where you correct the steering wheel. You have those moments where the rear gets underneath you. My hand cramped up, and like my forearm cramped up because you realize you grip the wheel so hard trying to keep the thing underneath you, and it's amazing to see how much, how different everyone is and how they grip it and rip it out here tonight.
Bobby and Paul Tracy running first and second. Marco Andretti's kind of stabilized his advantage over Helio Castroneves in third. Then you've got Joseph Newgarden hanging on in fifth, followed by Newman, Hunter Ray, Kenseth Biffle, and Kanaan, the top 10. Tony Stewart, whatever's going on with Smoke's car tonight, he just has not made any progress since the start of this main event, and he's still way back in 12th place out of 13 drivers.
Yeah, tough night for Tony Stewart, honestly. I'm sure they were trying to change everything but the color of that thing in the pit lane during the break there, but has not found what he needed. And I can promise you this, Tony Stewart did not forget how to drive overnight. Sometimes, as a driver, you just struggle with the balance of the car, and it's not what you need to be competitive.
While we're looking at Tony Stewart, about 3 a.m. last night, they had a huge storm come through the racetrack, and it did some damage to the transporters and the awnings that come out from the transporters that serve as the SRX garages. Well, the SRX leadership team stays here at the track in motorhomes, and they were all out at 3 o'clock in the morning, and Tony Stewart came out of his motorhome at 3 o'clock in the morning, helping the team pick up the damaged awnings. It ripped off the covers off some of the cars. The downpour and the rain happened. They called in the guys from the Skip Barber Racing School who helped serve as SRX transportation and crew. There's the damaged awnings and things. And then the guys from Ilmore Engineering came in who do the engines in the cars. And they had to go through every one of these cars from top to bottom and all the sophisticated electronics in them, as well as fix some body damage to Tony Kanaan's car that had a beam go through the left rear bodywork on that car, all from this 3 a.m. perfect storm. And while they were out there picking up, there's Tony Stewart out there in a pair of shorts and sneakers, helping the crew remove the damaged tent, clean up the cars, and get everything settled again.
It was crazy to see the storms and the damage that when we got to the track here this morning. You hate to see that. But again, this series, everyone working here, whether it's Gilmore, whether the guys at Skip Barber who are helping get these cars ready to go, everyone wants to make sure that when this series goes green, and when we put an incredible race out here for everyone to watch at home, that it's going to be a great product.
So there's the race lead. Bobby Labonte and Paul Tracy running first and second. As the sun sets, there's a beautiful sky off to the west. We're not big fans of some of the stuff we're seeing to the north of us, but beautiful sky off to the west. And Saturday night crowd here at Nashville Fairgrounds, seeing the caution come out. Over our main event tonight on a Superstar Saturday night. They've loved it. They've been at the track all day watching the heroes of racing go at it. And we're under caution with Bobby Labonte leading our main event.
Verizon just gave us all a brand new iPhone 13.
We've been customers for years. I thought new phones were for new customers. We got iPhone 13s too, switched to Verizon 2 minutes ago.
Ours were busted, and we still got a shiny new one.
Check it out. So wait, everybody gets the same great deal.
I think that's the point.
Now everyone can get a new iPhone 13 on us on America's most reliable 5G network.
Can I have a phone?
For every customer, current, new, everyone, to show the love.
Okay, this is a freezer, not a time capsule. Sometimes the house itself can tell you how a young homeowner is turning into their parents.
Not those two.
Yep, they're gone.
Forever?
Yep.
That there is Progressive's Home Quote Explorer website where I compared home insurance rates.
We don't need to print the internet. Some are beyond help. I will give you $100 if you can tell me what this is.
Scotch egg.
It's a meatball.
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer.
We've got a lot of work to do.
This is Frank. He runs a sustainable camping supply business. He's smiling because FedEx is growing its fleet of electric vehicles. And these are the Camper Scouts, earning their Eco Badge. They're sharing this news to their global Scout community, which, unexpectedly, has made Frank quite popular. So it's a good thing Frank uses FedEx to help him expand his reach and make Earth a priority. FedEx, where now meets next.
This is John. He hasn't worked this hard to only get this far with his cholesterol. Taken with a statin, Leqvio can lower bad cholesterol and keep it low with 2 doses a year. Side effects were injection site reaction, joint pain, urinary tract infection, diarrhea, chest cold, pain in legs or arms, and shortness of breath. With Leqvio, lowering cholesterol becomes just one more thing life throws your way. Ask your doctor about Leqvio. Lower, longer, Leqvio.
Flying over the field of the Camping World SRX Series at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway Saturday night. Glad to have you with us here on CBS. Bobby Labonte and Paul Tracy double up on the front row, getting ready for a restart next time by in our main event.
It's time to get the old boxing gloves on because now we're lined up side by side once again. This is your opportunity to make progress. This is, if you're starting 4th, 5th, 6th, mid-pack, this is your time to move a few folks out of the way and get to the front.
I take it you're expecting there to be fewer fender parts in the next several moments than there are existing now?
Well, I certainly hope so. That's what I came to see. Sorry to Tony Stewart who has to pay for it.
Green flag, here we go.
Fantastic restart by Tracy there. Awesome run to the outside of Bobby Labonte, but he could not get it done.
Couldn't get it to cut down the hill. Bounces off the wall, trying to gas it up off turn number 2.
Oh, you could tell he was trying to go for the old bumper maneuver there to get Bobby Labonte loose on exit. Did not make it happen, though, and here comes Marco.
Marco Andretti looking to the inside of Paul Tracy for second place. Andretti in orange.
Paul Tracy looks like he's swatting flies in there. He's moving the steering wheel around so much.
Marco back to second.
Great move by Marco. I'm sure less contact than he was expecting.
Castroneves settles in line in 4th. Ahead of Newgarden in 5th. 6th is Ryan Hunter-Reay. Watch Tracy in lime green. Whoops.
Again, just a few sparks to make the night more exciting. You can tell just trying to get on the power. Oh, man, that was, not going to do damage to the right rear, thankfully, but just reminding him that the track limits are there.
Yeah. We have a lot of discussion about track limits in Formula One racing. Well, the track limits are pretty well defined here at Nashville. There's walls
all those guys with their fancy curbs and weird paintings outside of the racetrack. We just got a bunch of walls here in America.
Look at the front tires of Newgarden's car as he steers that thing. Look at him counter steer as he tries to gas it up. How fun is that?
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, this track, it's very hard on the tires. There's a lot of movement. These guys are really fighting the cars. And again, Joseph Newgarden, very new to this. He has not done this many laps in a row in one of these SRX machines before. So he's got a target on his back right now because some of the guys with more experience. Oh, Joseph Newgarden loses it into one.
Newgarden into the outside wall, and the caution is out.
I don't know what to say. I don't think I've ever seen Joseph Newgarden lose it like that before.
You could tell the way he was counter steering that car that he was hanging on and trying to keep it gassed up and keep it in play. But it's not in play anymore.
Yeah, that thing is not going to be doing much playing at all. You can tell how hard he got into the corner, and as soon as he lost it, there was no coming back from that. That is really tough. Getting in, so close to... Oh, poor guy. I hate to see him.
Second yellow flag of our main event, Joseph Newgarden into the wall.
Get up, get moving, and gradually reduce grays the easiest way. Just step into the shower with Just for Men Control GX shampoo. The first and only shampoo that blends away a little gray with every wash. For a subtle, natural look. Control GX from Just for Men.
This pepperoni was carefully placed by hand by a pizza maker at Papa John's. Just like this one, and that one over there. Ooh, and even these in the crust. Get yourself the new epic pepperoni stuffed crust pizza, only at Papa John's.
URV to escape. Escape the humdrum of daily life. Escape your routine. Escape to your sunnier side. At Sun Outdoors, you're free to do, well, anything. Free to drift here or splash there. Free to turn happy hour into nature hour and back to an even happier evening. There are over 150 Sun Outdoors resorts. Escape to your sunnier side at any one of them.
When you hear best-in-class range or best-in-class fuel economy, you may be thinking of really tiny cars. And you'd be really, really wrong. The Ram 1500. Exceeding expectations. Again. No wonder more people are switching to Ram than ever before.
Every dollar counts these days, so take advantage of this great offer from Ram Trucks.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone, ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T.
Beavis and Butthead are back. Witness the dumbest science fiction movie ever made. Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. Now streaming exclusively on Paramount+. Now you saw the SRX crew working on Joseph Newgarden's car to try and get him back into the event. Bobby Labonte is the race leader. Let's talk to him.
Bobby Labonte, it's Connor Daly here in the booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Bobby, honestly, you've looked very smooth and in control, but we just saw Joseph Newgarden literally lose it by himself into one. How on edge are the cars right now, and how are the tires wearing?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it definitely can get free when you smoke it off in the corner. You know, it's a little bit more treacherous than free, but obviously you're on the edge, you know, and we're trying to take care of the tires. It leads to your second question about the tires is, you know, they just kind of plateau and they just give up grip. You know, you just kind of, you're at it's almost like they don't give up after a while. They just stay the same. But you're definitely, you know, fighting forward drive and, you know, any side force you can get out of it, lateral grip. So anyway, it's a little edgy.
Well, I'm very excited to see how you guys take this restart. What lane do you think is the strongest on the restarts, the top side or the bottom side?
Probably the top side, but I'd rather be on the inside of somebody than the outside of these guys. So we'll just give it a shot on the inside again, and hopefully we'll just get into one and smoke it in there good, and, you know, get off that corner nice and easy, and, you know, in front of them.
Awesome, thanks, man. Good luck for the rest of the race.
Thank you.
Bobby Labonte is our race leader at this point. He's now got Marco Andretti to his outside. Paul Tracy is inside of row number 2 with Elio Castroneves outside. SRX Race Control just running back through. Everybody should be in the restart lineup, while the crew on pit road also works hard to see if they can get Joseph Newgarden back out in time for this restart. 21 laps to go. There'll be 20 to go this time by. Remember, caution laps do count until we get to 10 laps to go, and then everything from that point on has got to be under the green flag, including unlimited attempts at a green-white checker finish.
It actually looked like Joseph's car wasn't in terrible shape. The rear bumper took most of that impact, but clearly they're putting enough race tape on that thing to make sure none of the body pieces fly off.
I always love when the great big huge sledgehammer comes out as part of a race car repair under a caution flag. You got the radio mic in your hand again?
Let's dial up Paul Tracy. Paul Tracy, it's Connor Daly up in the booth. You have a copy?
10-4, I hear you.
Having a great night tonight, my friend. What are we thinking for the final run here to the finish? How are the tires holding up? And do you have something for Bobby?
Well, I'm hoping I do. I got a pretty good car on the short run, but as the runs get longer, the rears are going away real bad. But I'm just trying to hang on to it. And I know we got, 23, 24 to go. So, we got to get down here to the last 10 and see what we got. But right now, it's pretty loose. I think everybody's got the same thing, though.
Well, Podium Paul's looking good, so have a great run to the finish here, pal.
All right, thanks, Connor.
He's going to like that nickname, you watch. All right, so Joseph Newgarden is back on the racetrack at the tail end of the field. Let's hear from Elio Castroneves, this on his team radio.
Hey, tell him to Tracy, I'm going to let him slip in front of me so he doesn't try to go too deep in turn 1, okay?
Oh, is that right, Elio?
Wait, what are you saying?
Tell Paul. I tell you what, Elio's not gonna have many things to tell Paul. Paul is not gonna be a listener. And I can't wait to see how that plays out.
All right, well, lights out on top of the pace car. We will have 17 laps to go in our main event. Bobby Labonte in white, Marco Andretti in orange, Paul Tracy in lime green, Elio Castroneves in the deep red. And don't look now, but Ryan Newman is third back on that inside row, last week's winner. Maybe he's got something for him, too. Fans on their feet. Here we go. Green flag.
Bobby Labonte was right about the acceleration. Marco Andretti, incredible run out of the last corner. Both guys sideways at the apex of 1 and 2 there.
Trying to keep Andretti from getting in front of him after he's led much of this main event. They're beating, they're banging into turn 3.
Marco couldn't quite make the top side work, but a great restart for him. Great racing between those two.
Labonte hangs on for now. Andretti second. Here is Ryan Newman looking inside at Paul Tracy.
Ryan Newman's on a mission, and honestly, great save from Paul Tracy there. Incredible car control from the Canadian man. Elio had a great run out the top side there, too, to get around Ryan Newman.
Check this out. Bobby in white, Marco in orange, and neither one of them, they both knew the importance of hanging on to that front spot through 3 and 4 there.
Yeah, it looked like Marco with a slightly earlier turn in than normal, and that's what SRX racing seems to be all about. Let's let them know you're there.
Yeah, Matt Kenseth about to let Ryan Newman know he's there. Kenseth at his first SRX race. I was talking about earlier today. First time I met him, he ran the All-American 400, the then All-Pro Series race here in Nashville before anybody in NASCAR ever knew of him. And I came here to do a radio broadcast race back in the day, we were trying to figure out how old each of us was back then. Matt, we figure, was about 20.
Wow.
Back in the day. And here he is tonight at age 50, 30 years later, racing in Nashville.
Having a quietly great night, honestly.
Are you shocked by that?
No, not at all. I mean, his car looks to be the cleanest one out there as well.
And here he is, trying to charge up to the inside of Elio Castroneves for 4th place.
Elio gave him a nice amount of room there. Honestly, I'm impressed with that. Matt, gonna get this move done without a doubt. Easy money for Matt Kenseth right there.
Kenseth's going to be with us on Superstar Saturday night for the final 2 events of our series on the dirt tracks as well. Next Saturday night, we go to Peevely, Missouri, and a little high-banked 3rd-mile dirt track owned by Ken Schrader, and Ken will race with us next Saturday night also.
That's going to be awesome. I hate to be missing out on that. I got to go back to my day job of being an IndyCar driver, but I'm excited to watch from my own house.
We will look forward to having you with us. Ryan Newman. Caution is out.
Oh, we had a couple guys get together there in 3-4.
Yeah, I didn't. They were down low. I didn't even see them. That's Newgarden and who?
That would be Tony Kanaan.
Tony Kanaan, okay.
Can't wait to see what happened here, honestly.
Well, TK's left rear is quite wrinkled up.
Yeah, that's there's no rear deck lid.
All right, let's go back. Right side of your screen. There they are, Newgarden and TK. Clunk.
I'll tell you what feels not awesome as a racing driver when you crash battling for last. That is a tough feeling. But it does go to show you Joseph Truett, and that's again, these guys don't have spotters. Not sure what Tony was going to be thinking there, and Joseph had to go. I hate to see it for those two guys.
Yeah. You know, it may be one of the most difficult things for drivers, whether they be stock car or open-wheel drivers, to adjust to when they come to the SRX series. You hear talk of the spotter. If you're new to racing, or it's not your normal thing, there's someone stationed on top of a very high point on the radio to the driver during a race, trying to coach him up on different things, like when there's a car around you attempting to pass. They don't do that here in SRX. These drivers are on their own to figure it all out.
And it is tough, let me tell you that. And without a spotter, you see the result, and that is Tony Kanaan's car looking like a badly built Lego.
Well, the SRX crew's going to have a little bit of work to do. Oh, the big hammer's out again.
Yes, here we see the hammer at work going to town on that rear bumper. Get it out of the way so we can go racing again.
Go from here under. Yep.
That was Barry Bodine in there wielding the big metal.
If you have stock in race tape, you're going to be excited to see the market on Monday.
All right, there's going to be a couple laps before we're going to go back to green flag racing while we try and get these 2 cars back in the event. You know, we started this thing where is Willie? Let's check out tonight's version of Willie's World.
Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? If there's any historical landmark in Nashville, Tennessee, it's got to be here.
It is here. We're sitting in the Motown suite, and they built this apartment above the manufacturing facility so everyone would have a place to stay. We sit here and we sit in these seats, and the furniture is exactly the same as it was in 1962. So to know that we're sitting in a room where there have been some musical geniuses is pretty amazing.
And I just saw the quarter machine jukebox.
Yes.
I haven't seen one of those since I was in high school.
What did you listen to by dropping that quarter? Do you remember?
It was Creedence Clearwater.
Very nice.
Born on the Vine.
That's an excellent one. Right. We pressed that.
Did you? Walk me through the record pressing procedure.
When the music is ready, a lacquer is cut. It then goes through a plating process. It's silvered. The end product of that plating process is a stamper. That master is then created. The master is separated, and we go from a master to a mother to a stamper, and the stamper is actually used on the press.
Tell me, what is United Record Pressing mean to the city of Nashville?
I feel that United Record Pressing is extremely important to the city of Nashville to be able to preserve the history of music.
I got to tell you, that's some fun. And, of course, Music City, it's everywhere in Nashville. We listened to some great live music the other night. Just a terrific, terrific place to be. And so much of the history, not just of country music and bluegrass, but all of music is recorded here in Nashville.
An incredible amount of people with smiles on their faces here in Nashville. I love to see it. And racing, both open wheel and closed wheel racing. You got NASCAR racing here. We've got IndyCar racing here. An incredible racing city now as well.
One to go is the signal. Driver of the night. Twitter.com/SRX Racing. Cash your vote. Polls are open now, and we've only got 10 laps until they close.
10 laps under the lights here in Nashville. It's going to be an electric ride to the finish here.
So Bobby Labonte and Marco Andretti, again, side by side on the front row for a restart. Labonte in the white car, Andretti in orange. Remember how physical their fight for the lead got on the last restart. They've got Paul Tracy and now Matt Kenseth in row 2. And 10 laps to go in our main event.
Interesting that Marco didn't quite get the same jump that he got on the last restart, and all three guys up on the high side drifting way wide there.
Paul Tracy to second place.
Paul Tracy going straight to second. Marco going straight to his rear bumper to move him out of the way. I'd love to see it.
There's Andretti now to the inside of Tracy.
That was a fantastic sequence. Marco got passed by Paul, but got right to his rear bumper and just moved him enough out of the way to where it wasn't, well, let's say aggressive.
Castroneves now. Ooh, look at that. Sliding into the corner. Hung on to it. Now here's Matt Kenseth looking to the inside of Castroneves.
Oh, and Elliott throwing an all-time block. Matt Kenseth is not going to have it. Moves him out of the way and gets the job done.
Look at Michael Waltrip around Ryan Newman now.
If there's one person I wanted to see have some success tonight, it's Michael Waltrip. I can't wait to see him at the bar later talking about his race tonight.
Michael says, you have no idea what this track means to me. Here's the save from Castroneves.
We'll call him the Drift King after that one. That was beautiful. Matt Kenseth just getting in here nice and low just to make Elio aware that he's there and moves him out of the way just enough. And without spotters, Elio doesn't quite know that he's there. You can't see a lot out of the left side mirror. But he felt him, that's for sure.
And while you're watching that replay, Matt Kenseth went around Paul Tracy to third. So the blue car on the charge. It's Kenseth now, but does he have enough laps left to get to the front without the help of a yellow flag?
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of ground to make up. And I know Marco is going to hate finishing second, so I know he's ready to try to make this move for the lead here on Bobby Labonte if he can get to him.
They brought Tony Kanaan's car back to pit road. It has a flat right front tire, so TK is not on the Speedway as we come down to 4 laps to go in our main event.
Yeah, and Bobby Labonte all night, I swear, has just looked the most smooth, the most in control. I am not surprised by this at all. Does Marco Andretti have anything left in that wagon, though? Does he have anything in the Fram machine for Bobby Labonte?
Marco chasing down, trying to catch Labonte, knowing he may face a challenge from Kenseth as well. But up front, it's the NASCAR Hall of Famer Labonte in command. He started 25th, he finished first here in 1996 in his only NASCAR race at this Speedway. He won it. Then he came back and won it as an owner with David Green behind the wheel of the Labonte racing machine. Now Bobby is 2 laps away from a checkered flag on a Superstar Saturday night.
Incredible night for Bobby Labonte. All Marco needs to do is get to the rear bumper just to have a shot at maybe moving him out of the way. He is not far, but I don't know if he's got enough time.
White flag is up. There is a slower car ahead. Kanaan is back off the pit lane as Labonte tries to hang on to his lead.
I tell you what, Bobby Labonte's worst nightmare is Tony Kanaan right now, and thankfully Tony did the veteran move and got out of the way.
9,000 2,610 days ago, Bobby Labonte won in Nashville in NASCAR. Tonight, he takes the checkered flag in the Superstar Racing Experience in Music City.
Fantastic race, honestly. A top 3 with incredibly talented guys. That was a fantastic race all night long. Andretti with a great night for his championship run as well. He's been wanting to win this championship. He's been trying to put points away. Great race.
Bobby Labonte, at 58 years old, now the oldest winner of an SRX main event, age-wise, as a driver.
Not old, just a veteran.
I just said the oldest. And I'll hear about that from him as the week goes on.
Yes, indeed.
We'll hear from Bobby in Victory Lane in just a minute. Labonte beats Andretti tonight in Nashville.
It's a good thing you bundled your home, auto, and RV insurance with Progressive. You save money, and you get round-the-clock protection.
So don't worry, it's all under control. That's cool, we'll finish up here.
Bye!
That's why you go to the restroom before the movie starts.
Get epic protection for your Dominion with Progressive.
Can I get it Mike's way? What's happening? And your free sub. Enjoy. That was super weird.
Oh, that? Nah. You should just use the Shore points you can now earn from chip and drink purchases to get free sub through the app. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Our passion for protecting vehicles started in 1934. And we've been pushing the limits of performance ever since. We innovate with the times and have the trusted filters to fit your needs. Yeah, we've been around the block, but our journey is just beginning. Fram for the road ahead. Find these Fram filters exclusively at Advanced Auto Parts and CarQuest.
Camp for less at Camping World. We're your one-stop shop for camping and RV supplies. Right now, we have patio mats for $17, kids camp chairs for $10, and a Nautica package with a screen house and 2 chairs that is normally $410. Now just $175. Upgrade your RV's interior with an ice maker for $75 and plus throws for $10. Plus, you can take home a brand new RV for less than $5 a day. Camping has never been more affordable. You always camp for less at Camping World.
Camping World SRX Series on CBS Sports is sponsored by Fram, trusted since 1934, and by Progressive. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance.
Next on 48 Hours, a young woman waiting for her wedding ring. Her fiancé gunned down in cold blood. Who wanted him dead? 48 Hours next on CBS. Back here at Nashville, take a look now at the podium. Bobby Labonte, the Hall of Famer, making it look easy there, holding on to that lead, getting this win for the second straight week. Marco Andretti in the second spot, followed by Matt Kenseth. We go now to Matt Yoakum with Bobby Labonte. The Labonte Road Trip Tour of 2022, the USS Alabama, Fenway Park, and tonight a return to Nashville's historic Victory Lane. This has been such an incredible year for you. What was the most fun part about tonight for you?
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, it's just like, you know, I didn't run that good in practice, and I told Tony, I was like, I think maybe I'm just running the wrong line, and so I try to fire off and go fast and feel like I got plenty of confidence, and I didn't. But I will say that, you know, I just followed Joseph there early, and a couple of those other guys. They're tough, you know what I mean? But first and foremost, I mean, I got to thank the fans for being here tonight. That's first. And then also, these guys on this SRX crew, all these men and women, you won't believe how hard they work to get these cars to the racetrack week in and week out. Thank you for coming. Thank you for tuning in. We had a great night, a lot of fun, and can't believe I won one because it's like, I just don't think I'm ever going to win. I won't finish third or fifth, but my nephew, Justin Labonte, his kid won a quarter midget race today at our quarter midget track in Salisbury, so I had a little pressure on me today. He won $385, so I might have beat him now. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Obviously, got sport clips on our car. You know, Camping World, can't thank you enough, Marcus. And, you know, I just thought I wasn't going to win. You know, I thought I'm not going to win. This is so intimidating with these drivers. I'm telling you, I get nervous. I'm going to puke with about 10 to go, like, oh, God, no more caution, you know. Marco, you know, and Paul and all these guys. And, you know, Joseph coming in here and, running so good and never done this before. And they're just so good. And so I'm just thinking, man, I see Matt Kenseth coming and I've seen this story before, you know, and I'm like, oh, my God, here he comes. So it's just so hard. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, maybe I made it look a little easy tonight, but it wasn't easy.
Well, you made it look easy. Walk me through, because you had so much poise on that pass for the lead.
Oh, the one where I got knocked down yeah, that one there, yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, Marco's going for it, and, you know, Connor asked me, he says, hey, where do you want to start, the inside or outside? I said, I think I'd rather be on the inside, because if I'm on the outside, I'm going to go that way. So anyway, I got down in there, you know, and we just smoked it off in there, and, you know, Marco runs you hard, and, you know, that's what it's all about. At least we got fenders on it. If he was in an Indy car, he'd have been over the fence, but I didn't want to see any more restarts because they kind of had me figured out on the restart. They were kind of busting me a little bit going into one, so I had to just back it up a little bit and, you know, kind of try to sneak them a little bit. But anyway, I mean, the tires wear, you know, just like wear, and you're saving, but you're sliding the whole time. So what an awesome place. I've won here once before, got a guitar. I'm not sure if that's in the cards tonight, but maybe I'll buy one on the way home.
1996, he won here, got a guitar. Willie, what a night here in Nashville.
Marco, Jet Set Andretti on the podium again. Great race with you and LeBron. You guys put on a show. Tell me.
Yeah, I mean, he shot out of a cannon right from the start of the feature, so I knew he was a force to be reckoned with there. So I think the fastest car won for sure. I was at one step of rear grip away, getting in and coming off. If I can get the power down a little bit better, I think I would have got closer at the end. Those Cup guys know just how far to pull away at the end, so you can't get to their bumper at the end. But it was a fun one. I keep running steady. You know, I want to thank Rush Trucking, Fram, and of course Camping World. But Rusty's going to be bummed. We keep finishing second, man.
Well, you know how to win. You did it as Slinger in that knockout last year. It'll be another one.
I mean, we just have to keep staying in it, and you know, I think that's got to be, we got to be looking good in points, second or third, I would assume. And so if we just keep being steady, you know, maybe we can get it right one day.
Oh, you're going to do it. You're right there in the points.
All right, Willie, Marco, thank you. Marco Andretti now top 5 in 5 of the last 6 SRX events, and you could see the smile on his face, even though he wanted to win and he finished second. He's having so much fun doing this. And this was just a fun ending to this main event.
Yeah, absolutely. And I honestly have to thank everyone here at CBS for having me. I've really, really enjoyed being here, and this series is awesome. You know, the Camping World support for everyone here. I loved it. I love being a part of this. And now I have to go back to, you know, my job of being an IndyCar driver, which I also love. So I appreciate everyone here and can't wait for next season.
And we know you'll be watching, too. We appreciate you, pal. Good luck in the rest of the way in the IndyCar season. And let's check back downstairs with Matt Yoakum.
And catching up with Matt Kenseth. And when you have Kenseth, this is actually history tonight. Your first SRX. You've got the whole clan, all the girls. Ross is here, your 2 grandchildren. It's a special night for you, but for the fans, what an incredible night. We talked about coming in, how you're watching it from the camper, Yellowstone, on your family vacation. So your impressions then, did it compare to tonight?
Yeah, it was pretty similar to what I saw. So, yeah, it was an interesting race. First of all, it's really fun to have all the family here, obviously. Special night. It's been a while since I've raced, and then to have all of them here obviously makes it more special. It would have been better to get the win. I felt like I really flopped around in heat races. My car got real loose. I burned rear tires off. I felt like I didn't have any clue what I was doing. So in the feature, the car was better once I put tires on and fixed the stagger and everything, but I just kind of putted around for 50 laps or so, and then I was trying to figure out how much time I needed to get to the front. I quick passed 2 or 3 of them and thought I was good, and we got a couple cautions and outside restarts and kind of got mixed up. So I kind of ran out of time, but I felt like I had the best tires at the end. I just kind of ran myself out of time.
All right, out of time, but he got a podium here in Nashville. Willie.
A great race by Paul, Dick, Tracy, right on the top 5 again. Tell me.
Pretty good night. I was pretty happy with everything that went. We had good heat races, started up front, ran up front. I still killed the rear tires off at the end. I was racing hard with Marco and going back and forth with him, and probably used up my tires too much, and I didn't really have anything for Bobby. I was just trying to learn off him and watch what he was doing, and then Matt came at the end, and I couldn't really do anything but just let him go by and just try to maintain a good finishing and good points.
To finish in the top 5 in this show is hard. Lindsay, back to you.
Thank you, Willie. Yeah, Paul Tracy there with the valiant effort. I loved Bobby Labonte's transparency, saying how intimidated he gets with these drivers here in SRX. Congratulations to Bobby and to the rest of the racers tonight in Nashville. That's going to do it for us from Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. An amazing night here at this short track that really delivers ultimate bragging rights for all the drivers that race here. For Alan Bestwick, Connor Daly, Willie T. Ribbs, Matt Yoakum, for our entire crew, for the drivers that are out here taking a look at what they're doing now. A lot of these guys are feeling like they're going to take a break. They're sitting down. They're obviously trying to make good on such a tough, difficult night on this short track. That's going to do it for us here in Nashville. From Music City, we say that we hope that you'll join us next week from the dirt in Missouri. For all of us here on this Camping World SRX crew on CBS, we say good night. Thanks for watching. Stick with us for more action-packed racing next Saturday night.